Since these infamous incidents of Barcelona locals spraying tourists with water guns and protesters across Spain and wider Europe decrying the damaging effects of tourism, Spain has regularly been featured in the news whenever the controversial topic of overtourism is discussed. The latest headlines have been focused on a new 3-year law being dubbed a tourist ban. But is Spain actually passing laws specifically designed to ban tourists? Should you book alternative accommodation for your gals trip or lads holiday this summer? Well, let's dive in and find out. Spain is the second most visited country in the entire world, with around 94 million international arrivals in 2024. And while tourism is responsible for a huge portion of the nation's GDP, 126 billion euros to be more specific, it seems that the negative impact that this volume of tourists is having has finally pushed some Spaniards to their limit. We've spoken about the impact of overtourism in New York, link in the description, which is largely a similar experience to what is affecting those in Spain. Overcrowding, pollution, locals feeling as though their culture is being diminished and that town centres are no longer catering for them, and crucially, a lack of affordable housing. The law that has been dubbed the tourist ban is actually a 3-year restriction on registration of any new holiday rentals across 43 districts in Malaga. Introduced by the Malaga City Council on January 14, the new measures aim to suppress the increase in holiday rentals in the most crowded parts of the city, with the hope that it will ease pressure for locals who are desperately trying to find affordable rentals. So no, tourists are not banned in Spain. However, measures of this ilk are not exclusive to Malaga. Alicante and Madrid have introduced similar bans in the last year, and it looks as though more Spanish cities like Seville are interested in following suit. While this won't exactly affect the 13,000 currently available and active hotels and Airbnbs in Malaga, the measures are expected to have a flow-on effect that will make existing accommodation more competitive and expensive, which is a consequence that will be passed on to travellers, especially during peak travel seasons. We've made videos and written about the measures that various governments have experimented with in recent years to combat the negative effects of overtourism. And as with the New York Airbnb restrictions, it's likely that these new laws will end up pricing some travellers out of being able to visit certain destinations, which we don't think is ideal. Travel should be accessible for as many people as possible and should not be exclusively reserved for the affluent among us. That being said, locals need to be catered for first and foremost, and if this policy can stabilise the housing market and ensure that residents are not priced out of their own city, then that is ultimately an improvement on the current situation. Additionally, it is hoped that the measure will help preserve the cultural and social fabric of Malaga's neighbourhoods. The influx of short-term visitors has led to the displacement of long-term residents, transforming historic districts into tourist hubs. Malaga locals are hoping that reducing the saturation of holiday rentals will allow communities to regain their identity and support local businesses that actually serve residents rather than just visitors. Ideally, Malaga's economy will benefit from a more sustainable tourism model. So by encouraging visitors to use existing hotels and regulated accommodations, the best case scenario is that the city can maintain tourism revenue while avoiding excessive strain on infrastructure. While it's unfortunate that Spain's over-tourism measures are likely to price out certain travellers, it's also a positive step towards combating the societal issues that are compounding because of traveller saturation. And while cities all over the world have been talking about implementing certain restrictions, from tourist taxes to minimising vehicle and cruise traffic, it's interesting to see the Spanish government leading by example and making strong decisions with potentially huge economic ramifications. So where do you sit on this issue? Do you think that the Spanish government's measures will actually benefit the people of Malaga, helping locals have better access to affordable housing and combating the negative aspects of tourism? Or do you think this will just punish travellers and not make any meaningful impact at all? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, if you found this interesting, please hit subscribe. It really helps us out. Take it easy, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.